So how did you find out about the open shelter?
Well, when y'all was downtown on Mound Street, my friend showed me where y'all was at that church. 'Cause I used to go to that church when I was a kid.
Oh, St. John's
Mm.
Church. Um, so someone told you about us.
Mm-hmm.
At that, how long ago was that?
Ooh, about 3, 4 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago. What was the situation you were in? What led you to you coming to us?
Um, just to get out the house and at the time I was didn't have no food or anything like that, and I was hungry and stuff like that, and my friend said, well, we could go over to this church on Mound Street, and they give out good stuff and you can
Right.
eat and everything. And I'm like, okay, do that. And
So you mentioned your house. Where were you living at that time?
I was living with a friend.
Living with a friend.
Hmm.
What's your living situation right now?
I got me a house.
Oh, you do. Where
Hmm.
at?
Over on Saul event between Catherine and Ryan.
Okay. How long have you been there?
It'd be 2 years this year
Two
in May.
years. Okay. So, how has the open shelter helped you out
Um,
over these years?
it made me feel comfortable coming and you know interact with everybody and stuff like that. I like interacting with a lot of the homeless people, listening to their stories and stuff like
Hmm.
that, and listen to Solomon yelling, yelling and stuff like that. I just start feeling comfortable hanging out with
Okay.
everybody, and they helped me get my birth certificate this last year when
Oh,
I
did
got
it?
it.
Okay.
Yes, and couldn't afford it because I was born in California, so I couldn't afford it at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Um, so you mentioned you are housed. Now, as far as like the open shelter, do we help as far as like, I guess, stretching your budget?
Yeah, they helped me get food pantry here and clothes if I need stuff, personal stuff like the pull ups or anything like that.
Right.
They help me out with that, and sometimes if I need dishes, I'll ask him if he has it or dog food if he has it
Right.
and stuff like that. They help me out real good.
That's good. Um, so as far as like your situation, your house, as far as like anything for employment or as far as like income, what are you getting right now?
I get disability.
You get disability? What's
Yeah.
that for?
One's from the first one I get on the first of the month is my check for my disability because I'm mentally handicapped and
Okay.
I have what's that word I'm looking for? Comprehension. I have
Okay.
problems with that and
Okay.
spelling. I'm working on it. My
Okay.
fiance's helping me read and spell and write and stuff
Okay.
like that. And the second check I get on the third is my mom's check because
Oh,
she worked from the age 14 until she went into the military at the age of 24 because she was 23 when she had me. So she went in right after she had me.
oh, okay. She went to the military.
Yeah,
What branch?
she was Air Force.
Oh, wow.
And she met my dad. They were best friends at the time before I was even thought of, before they dated or whatever. Um, he fought the Vietnam War.
Oh, wow.
So when he had to go back again, he told my mom, I love you. Let's get married. So they got married before he got that way and before
Right.
she went that way.
Okay. Was he in the Air Force or what branch was he in?
Marines.
He was in the Marines. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so he went over to the Vietnam War, and the captain asked him, "Did you have your wedding night and or like that?" He said, "No, we got married right there. I got on in my bus. She got
Right.
on her bus, and everything." He said, "Well, you got a 3 day weekend before we actually go finish this war. So you go tell your wife this and that." But when he got off the boat,
Right.
he got sprayed with the Agent Orange.
Oh,
So when they created me, I ended up getting sick.
oh, I see.
Yeah, because I was born 50 years ago with scarlet fever.
Oh,
And I was born a month late. I was supposed to be born June the 25th. I came July 25th.
oh, wow.
And ever since then, my immune system wouldn't stay up. My I got early diabetes. I'm diabetic now,
Oh,
but they
wow.
didn't detect it until as I got older.
Right.
I get cold
Yeah,
constantly. I get cold,
you'd mentioned that.
and now my disability just getting worse every day. But
Yeah, with your foot, what's
yeah,
going on with your foot?
my foot. I had a surgery last year. I
Right.
had a callus on a. I don't know if you remember how I was limping
A
last
little
year.
bit, yeah.
I had a callus, which is still there. I had a callus on the bottom of my foot, and it
Right.
busted open, and they went to clean it out, took it off, but when it came back again, it went around my big toe,
Oh wow.
and it caused an infection in that, and they was gonna take my toe. I said, I need my kicking toe, because this is my. I'm left sided. I'm left handed, but I kick with this foot.
Gotcha.
So I need my kicking toe.
Yeah.
So what they did was put me on a very, very strong antibiotic called vancomycin,
Yeah.
and I had a pit line that go from my arm into my heart so that antibiotics could get into my body to get rid of it. And my toe is healing, but the callus decided it want to keep
Oh wow.
staying. And so, yeah, I have like really bad health, but I thank God every day that
Yeah.
I'm here and got to, be here to interact with everybody and
Right.
stuff like that, and make more and more. I think about it. I'm starting to write. I'm getting ready to write 2 books.
Really?
Yeah, and one of the books is called "The Day in the Life of Irma Jean Jordan," which is my mom.
Oh,
God bless her soul. Um, all the things that she went through to get where she was at before she passed away.
right.
She did a lot of stuff, the
Wow.
drugs
Well,
and stuff.
as far as your parents, how long were they married?
They was married till I turned 2.
Okay. How many years?
See, I was born 72,
Yep.
so 2 years after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned about your mother. You said drugs. Talk a little bit about yourself growing up. Were you born here or?
No, I was born in Pittsburgh, California, Consta Costa,
Okay.
population 201. I made the one. My mom was 200. My dad was 199. So
um. So yeah, growing up, what was life like? What was your life like? You mentioned as far as your mother
my
about
life
drink.
when I was growing up, it was actually pretty good
Mm-hmm.
because I mean she was old fashioned because of my grandmother and my great grandmother. Um, she didn't believe in using belts. She used switches
Oh, geez.
like grandparents usually do,
Right.
and so my mom was doing the same thing. My dad, him, he had a paddle
Yeah.
with my name on it,
Oh,
and he put holes. So when I get spanking,
right.
you can see my name
Uh,
back there, and I was good in school. I mean, even though I was in education, special education,
right.
I had fun. Got to go to. I went to a Jewish temple.
Oh,
I went to a Catholic church right down the street from where we was living at on McAllister. Um, back then, we had doors open. Nobody
right.
was want to break
Right.
in, like that. My great grandmother, she owned a bootleg joint.
Uh,
It was like this side of the house, this side of the road on McAllister, coming all the way down, bootleg joint. Across the street, bootleg joint. But the thing is, it was family.
right.
Everybody was doing selling the alcohol and stuff. But she was the matriarch. She was the head
Head of it.
poncho. Yeah, and when she gives people alcohol while they drinking, she goes in the kitchen. If she knows which one's getting ready to go to work or had to go home and go to sleep
Right.
to get up for work, she go in there and fix them a little snack. Say, here, eat this. All the alcohol will be
Yeah.
gone. And she would come. And she said, here's your breakfast.
Right.
Here's your lunch. I'll see you at 4 o'clock.
Well, that's nice.
She feed the whole neighborhood. Everybody was feeding. We got to have like block parties,
Oh, wow.
and the kids get to be in the middle of the street with a big giant tart. Ice cream truck comes down, throw the ice cream out. All the kids go grab it. Fruit truck come down, watermelon, apples, pears,
Yeah.
grapes, everything you could think of, candy.
Yeah.
So everybody, all the kids in the neighborhood will be right there in the middle of the street while our parents are in the yard grilling, or in the kitchen getting the stuff together.
Yeah.
We get free glasses because it was a an eye doctor across the street. He
Right.
come check our eyes. We get free glasses, free getting our teeth
Well,
done.
that's great.
And for all the kids, including the teenagers, if we need money on our own, we go across the street to the person that does the ties,
Right.
and he give us a barrel full of ties, belts, buckles, whatever, and we go out and sell them. And by the time we come back and get him the thing, we already made about $5,000 to $6,000,
Wow.
and that was our candy month. And we get to go spending. Me, I didn't. I go to people's house that's unfortunately
Yeah.
that don't have
Right.
a lot of stuff. I'll give them. I keep at least like 300, and I just pass it out to the rest of my friends that don't have it.
Right.
And my great grandma would take my money and put it up. So when it's like Bruce Lee weekend, she would give me like $20. I go to the donut shop or
Yeah.
the candy shop. And
So when did you end up in Columbus?
I've been. I came to Columbus about. I say I was about. My mom said I was about 1.5.
1.5.
Yeah,
Okay, so
'cause
your
we.
family moved out here? Or your
My
mother?
mom and them they were already here. My mom was born in OC, Arkansas,
Okay.
but my dad was a Columbus person. But my great grandmother lived in OC, Arkansas. She brought her whole entire family here.
Okay.
Her grandkids and her kids, which is my grandmother, um, my grandmother, my aunt and uncles, great aunts and uncles. My great grandma brought them here,
Oh,
and
wow.
then my mom and them was born in OC. She came when she was like,
So you came to Columbus when you were 1.5.
because
So,
I couldn't travel where she went. She went to Italy
okay.
and didn't have my passport yet.
Okay.
So
So growing up in Columbus, what was that like for you?
it was awesome.
Oh, okay.
It was awesome. That's where I was at when I was telling you about the beach, the movies, Bruce Lee selling money, getting
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. It was here, and like I said, we got to stay up until 10 o'clock and watch our parents
Yeah.
get drunk and run
Oh,
down the
jeez.
street.
And that was here. That was here in Columbus.
It was
What
here
part of Columbus?
over there off of Main Street,
Off of Main
East
Street.
Street, Main Street is McAllister.
Okay.
That's where we used to live at. I mean, we lived. I lived all over Columbus when I got here.
Right.
But the most fun place that I had
Right.
was right there on McAllister with the rest of the
Now, it sounds like growing up you had a pretty good childhood. Now, when you left home, what was life like? What were some of the
family.
challenges you faced?
When I left home, I stayed with my best friend Sharon, because I knew her when we was growing up.
Right.
I stayed with her. Still went to school, and then I dropped out because I didn't drop out, but I helped my mom and my
Right.
friend Sharon and her mom because back then crack was heavy,
Yeah.
so me had to keep an eye on my mom. I took care of my mom. Nobody
Right.
else did, and that was heavy on me.
Right.
And um, and I was like, I told my mom, I said, I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. Can't do it. I can't take care of you. You're supposed to take care of me.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm about to cry because I miss my mom so much. But it didn't stop me.
Yeah. What school were you going to at that time?
I went to the first school. Ooh, golly. Hold on. Let me think of that first. Ohio
Okay.
Avenue, then Livingston,
Yeah.
um,
Where'd you go to high school at?
Walnut Ridge.
Walnut Ridge. Okay.
Mhm.
So you were at Walnut Ridge when you dropped out, when you had to help your mom?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I went all the way from ninth grade to the 12th grade.
Okay.
I still was helping my mom, but I was staying with some like my friend
Right.
Sharon. My coach from Walnut Ridge, she helped me. She paid Sharon's mom for let me stay there because she was my mentor at Walnut Ridge,
Oh, okay.
and so she paid them to let me stay there to still go to school. And then I got a job at the age of let's see, 16.
Okay.
I worked in a restaurant
Okay.
for a while. I am getting pregnant,
Oh.
and I still worked, and I still went to school.
Right.
But after I had my son, They told me that they wanted me to go to a different school because I was an embarrassment
Oh,
to the senior girls.
oh wow.
And I was like thinking, I'm like, how can I be embarrassed to senior girls? You got ninth graders here that have 4 kids.
Right.
You got 10th graders got kids.
Yeah.
You got 11th graders. Then you got about at least 6 or 7 12th graders, counting me,
Right.
having kids. You got a daycare in our school
Oh wow.
with kids. And I was an embarrassment.
Yeah. Um,
And I was the only girl on my football team.
on the football team. Oh
The
wow.
boys didn't know how to do a kick.
And that was long. Oh, so you were kicking for the football team. Okay, yeah. Back then, that was very uncommon.
Yeah.
You mentioned your fiance.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you get engaged?
About almost 23 years ago.
Oh, 23 years ago. So you've known him for quite a while.
Yeah, we're really trying to get ourselves financial straight and get
Gotcha.
ourselves together before we get married. So it'd be 23 April the 16th.
So what does he do? Or
He
what's
works
his?
for Walmart's.
Really? Okay.
He works
Which
for
one?
Here at New Rome.
Oh, okay. I know
He-
exactly where it's
He
at.
works at that one. He been with Walmart's. He got let go the very first time. Then he got back going. So basically, right now, 5 years for Walmart's, and he got a little certificate and
Oh, wow.
little pendants and stuff for being there real good.
Let me ask you, you mentioned being, how have you ever been out on the streets? Have you been
Yeah,
homeless
with my son.
with your son?
Yeah, because nobody would help me.
How long ago? How long was that? How long were you
We
out?
was on the streets. I was sleeping with my son on the streets for about a year and a half.
Year and a half. What was that like? What were some of the struggles you had to go through?
Because I had to make sure nobody touched my baby. I don't care what you do to me,
Right,
but you're not touching my child.
right,
And I did everything they told me to do, and I went here to a shelter. I stayed in Faith Mission
right,
when it was down on Long Street.
right.
They helped me get a little place, and which it was Greenbrier before
Okay.
they tore it down.
Right.
I stayed there with my son, and now he's 32 years old.
Yeah.
He's-
How old was he when you were homeless?
Newborn.
Oh, newborn.
Newborn.
How did you end up homeless? What caused it?
Well, taking care of my mom,
Right.
staying with my friend, and then me and my friend's mom start not getting along.
Okay.
And even though her mom knew me since I was 1,
Right.
but it was just because she said I was changing her daughter because her daughter was getting an attitude. I said, how can I change your daughter? Your daughter has her own mind. I can't
Right.
force her to like, oh, don't listen to your mom. If that's the case, I want to be out there taking care of my mom.
Right.
And I was taking care. Basically, everybody was putting their problems on me,
Right.
weighing on me and everything. But I didn't mind because I had a good heart,
Right.
and I still have a good heart, and I took care of everybody.
When you were homeless with your child, with your son, were you staying like in a tent, or were you were you outside?
I slept under the bridge.
Okay.
I slept near a railroad track, which that wasn't a good idea, but I had to do what I do to make sure he was okay.
Right.
And as he got a little older, I stayed with my friend, got older, and then somebody told children's services that I was beating on my child.
Oh.
And I never did that.
Right.
And I had his sister. Then we moved to another place, a house with my mom. And my mom was doing the drugs. We hired a babysitter to watch
Right.
my 2 kids while I was out trying to find a job and do things that I need to do just to get my kids together and stay there in that house. And my mom went to go get some baby milk. My son decided to go outside with no t-shirt on,
Right.
just a diaper
Oh,
in the middle of the alley.
Right.
And so children's service came in.
How long ago was that when you and your son were homeless? You said he's 32 now,
Mm-hmm.
and you said he was like 1.5 then. So that was about 30 years ago when that was. So we're talking about in the 90s.
Yep, he was born 1991.
Okay. You mentioned your mother. Have you ever like drugs or anything?
No.
Nope. Okay.
My mom, the famous word from my mom to tell me if she ever catch me with a stem or weed or a needle, she's gonna kill me,
Uh-oh.
bring me back, and kill me again.
Uh-oh.
Cause that's the mentality she has. Cause she was in the Air Force,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh yeah, yeah.
she know how. I'm telling you, she know how to do things that nobody knows that she know how to do. When she says she gonna whoop your butt, and it's not pleasant when she whoops your butt. You better be glad she didn't break your nose or anything like that. But my mom told me, don't let her catch me with any kind of drugs in mind.
That's good.
Only thing I take is pain medicine for my back and my leg.
Right.
I take medication. I use insulin. That's it. Other
Yeah.
than that, no, no, no,
Gotcha.
no, no, no. My mom be like, my mom would probably come down like, didn't I tell you not to do drugs? Um,
um, just to
my
kind of
dad did
wrap,
too. So
yeah, just to kind of wrap it up. If someone were to ask you about the open shelter, let's say somebody were to ask, they were thinking about supporting the open shelter, or let's say somebody was looking for a place to get assistance, to get help, what would you tell them about the open shelter?
I will tell them that come here. It's a nice place, and they will help you do what you need, whatever. If you want to donate, you just ask Solomon, and they will show you where to go to bring the stuff in for donation. But if you need food, clothes, if you need help with food stamps or health insurance, they're there for you. Um, they're very nice. They will feed you. You get little sack lunches and stuff like that. They will help you. They're very, very good with what they need to do. And it's a lovely place.
Well, thanks.